Hi, I'm Michael Gelb. I'm the author of How to Think Like Leonardo da Vinci. We say Leonardo in the US. I'm here in New York. I'm an author and a professional speaker, but I'm home now and using my creativity, because all my speaking engagements are obviously canceled. I'm using my creativity to write and create and offering all sorts of fun programs for people on Zoom to help inspire them to get through this challenging time. I want to share with you a little story about my first trip to Italy many years ago. I was a student in England and finished a year-long program, and 6 friends and I decided that we were going to drive down to Italy. One of them was Italian, Massimo. He lived in Florence. So we made our way down to Italy, stopped in France along the way, spent one night camping out in the Alps. We were all jugglers, and we would juggle for people, put out a hat, and we actually made enough money to fund our trip. So we visited Massimo in Florence, and his mother cooked us these amazing meals night after night. We would be totally stuffed, and then Massimo would come in and say, "You need some gelato. It's good for your digestion." And we go out and eat gelato. So I just fell in love with Italy. My grandmother Rosa was from Italy. She's a fabulous painter, artist. It was she who introduced me to Leonardo da Vinci when I was very young, and he became my hero. So going to Italy was a dream come true. After we left Massimo's, we headed down to Rome, and then we were on our way past Naples, going down to the south, and we had to leave our car behind and get on a train. And we got on this train, I'll never forget it, because it had no air conditioning. It was really hot. And there were 7 of us. We had lots of wine, we had mozzarella cheeses, we had big figs, and we would just eat them from our hands and drink the wine. We were having a blast, even though the train was totally crowded. We were actually kind of spread out along the floor. Anyway, we got to this station somewhere in the south of Italy. I just remember it was one of those trains that pulled into the station, and there were only 2 people on the platform. An elderly man and an old woman who looked like his wife. And it seemed that the old man was helping the old woman to get on the train, and he was going to say goodbye to her. So I remember watching her come on the train. She was kind of bent over, and she looked in the train, and she just saw the sweaty, crowded young Americans and, well, Australians and one Italian on the floor drinking wine. It looked like chaos. And I watched her face just drop. Oh. And she turned to look at the old man, and her body language seemed to say, "Do I really have to get on this train and go on this journey?" And the old man looked at her right in the eyes, and he said one word that I'll never forget. He said, "Coraggio." And the old woman straightened up, and she walked on the train. And we took care of her. We got her a seat. We gave her some wine, some mozzarella, some figs, and she had a wonderful journey. Now is a time that all of us must summon that coraggio. And not just for ourselves, but for others. It's amazing to think of the courage that Leonardo da Vinci had to have to explore the nature of reality, the nature of truth, of goodness, of beauty, at a time of incredible change and stress and difficulty. Yes, we're going through a challenging time now, but it's nothing compared to the pandemic that Leonardo lived through. What was his response? He designed new plans for a city with better sanitation, greater social distancing. It's amazing how far ahead of his time he was. It was indeed the pandemic of the Black Plague that gave birth to the Renaissance. It got people to open their minds, to ask new questions, and the result was the greatest flowering of art, of pure genius that humanity has ever known. And it happened in Italia. So now we have another opportunity to respond to crisis, to respond to challenge, to respond to difficulty by accessing our powers of creativity. And Leonardo's advice from 500 years ago can inspire us. First, he gives very practical advice for all of us. He says, learn to preserve your own health. So be responsible for looking after yourself and the people within your sphere. 500 years ago, Leonardo said to his students, avoid grievous moods and keep your mind cheerful. Today we call that psychoneuroimmunology, the notion that your attitude affects your immune system from moment to moment. So be grateful, celebrate life, look for beauty, and remember that emotions are contagious, for better or for worse. So be careful about what you catch and spread. Even if you're feeling fear or anxiousness, you transmute that within the cauldron of your own heart into coraggio, because that's what you then share with others, and people really need it. And Maestro said, fix your course to a star and you can navigate through any storm. What is that star? It's a sense of higher purpose. It's a sense of making a difference. There's so much beauty, so much love. It's part of why we love Italy so much, because we feel the heart and the soul of Bella Italia. We know you're going to put more dolce in your vita. You drink to your health, to your happiness, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Cent'anni.